You are now tuned in to Two Studs in a Pod, a podcast giving you a candid glimpse into the world of super terrific Uber Dykes, but you can call us studs. I'm Blaze.
I'm Meech.
Finding good spots for an umbrella drink is what we're getting into this week. So let's get into it. Homie, drop the beat. Two Studs in a Pod, and we're just a couple of studs keeping it real, raw, and off the cuff. And we'd like to welcome you to the show. Usually, at this time of year, many of us are booking flights to somewhere warm, either home or abroad. So this week, we're getting into traveling as studs. But before we board with group 2, Meech, what it do?
Man, getting ready for this Thanksgiving
Mm-hmm.
and my birthday weekend about to turn up in the house.
Virtually.
But yeah, virtual turn up, house party, all that good shit. Cooking a little bit right now, helping moms. We're keeping it small this year. Trying to stay safe, keep everybody safe. Wish that I was coming out there to get, one of those 2 meals that your wifey cooks
Yes, I know.
for the year.
I just got cursed out for not helping with the greens this year. But I mean,
Oh man,
it is what it is.
Right?
I'm definitely gonna help eat them things, though.
I know.
That.
I wish I was there.
Oh man, trust me, that's going down. So
I'm missing the banana pudding. I'm missing all the good stuff.
Yes, I've realized that as an adult, Thanksgiving is probably now my favorite holiday. Like,
yeah.
Damn day.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, I got off early today, so that's and then I got Friday off, so I'm good.
Oh yeah, definitely. By the time this airs, I'll probably be like another 5 pounds heavier because I'm eating all this food, man. But I'm definitely ready. The house is smelling like Thanksgiving and looking like Thanksgiving with the greens there that I got to take out to the compost now because wifey done peeled them all up by herself, which I'm sure I'm going to hear about for.
Yeah.
But it's all good, you know what I'm saying? Off work, like you said, long weekend and ready to just enjoy myself and make it do what it do, you know what I'm saying? And just eat and relax and enjoy the fruits of my labor at this point and my blessings, you know what I'm saying? And definitely take some time out to thank the universe for all that I have been given and continue to be given. So, but I'm ready to eat, boy. Believe that.
Yeah.
Say what?
Now that sound means it's time for a new segment. There's so much craziness in the news these days. It's hard to be surprised. So when we are, it's something we must share. These are the stories that made us say what? Some of the weirdest or craziest things we read or heard from the news this week. So, Meech, you got anything on deck?
Yeah, so it's not necessarily a news story, but I saw something weird and crazy on the gram.
Okay.
Actually, I think it was Twitter. This chick posted, my wax lady used to rub my clit in circular motion to distract me from the pain.
Say what?
Exactly. That shit made me say, what?
Yo,
Because
that's crazy. What?
That's
not how that works, right? That doesn't...
It's not even a massage parlor.
Like, I don't know if that's the happy ending she was looking for.
Right. But she was like okay with it, and everybody was like, you were assaulted, like that's not supposed to happen. She was like, yeah, but I don't know. And then she just had like bad comebacks, like your man doesn't know how to do it right. At least my wax lady does. And people were like, how do I apply and like how do I bring this up to my wax person?
Really?
So that yeah, dead ass, yo. How do I bring like what? Oh god. So the internet's definitely had me saying what to that. And then the craziest people come from Florida and the Bronx. So I saw this story about this dude walking down the street in the Bronx and like the sidewalk collapsed, and he fell like 12 stories down into like a rat's den.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like
Hell no. Hell
no,
no.
yeah, yeah. That's like typical like New York, I guess,
No, I'm
and for the
good.
Bronx. Like that's so disgusting. And then they were saying like he was scared to call for help because he didn't want any of the rats to jump like run in his mouth.
Oh God. Oh no. See,
I
that's
can
something
only
like,
imagine.
yeah, because as a Floridian, as a from Miami, as a Miamian,
Right.
um, when we think of New York, at least for me, for the most part, like that's what I think of, like nothing but buildings and concrete and mad uh, rats, giant
Yeah.
rats the size of cats. So
Yeah.
to hear that that's true is crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nah.
Poor guy. I think I would have just been like, I just sort of died right there and then. Like, mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
But it was a good thing like people saw it happen, so they called 911 for him. I think he had like a broken leg and a broken arm or something like that. And crazy shit was like I think his name was like something shoulders. I was like,
What?
what the fuck is that his real name? Like this can't be true. But it was.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The craziest thing I saw this week was the such a Florida story. You from your very New York story to my very Florida
Mm.
story. But this dude was walking his puppy, and
uh
an alligator grabbed the puppy,
oh
and
shit.
Buddy ran in the water after the alligator and opened the jaws of the alligator and like wrestled the puppy out. Mind you, it was an older guy, and he had a cigar in his mouth, and he never let go of the cigar the whole time. He's
Damn.
wrestling this alligator. I mean, it wasn't like a 6 foot alligator, but still, it's an alligator,
Right.
and it had the dog in his jaws, and this dude was like, "Not my puppy," and
Yeah,
he
that's
like,
definitely Florida.
"Yo, for real." So when I saw, I mean, it was all over the news, but when I saw that, I definitely was like, "Say what now?" But I'm not lying. Like if I've pictured something trying to come after my dog, and we're fighting. Okay, we are definitely throwing some hands if something comes after my dog. So I
Right.
can see where Buddy was coming from, but still, that was out of this world. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into what we've got cooking this week in stewed peas. There's nothing quite like traveling to new destinations and discovering how other people live. Seeing the different sights and scenes is often thrilling and exciting. But, as most of us know, there are many places, even in 2020, that are not the best for members of the LGBTQ plus community to visit, especially outside of the US. Femmes and less effeminate men can have an easier time blending into these places, but those of us that wear our gay on our sleeves can prove to have a harder time. That's not to say that there aren't places that are open and welcoming to us all. Meech, I know that you've traveled because I've been there with you.
Yeah.
But what has your overall experience been like traveling home and abroad, like visiting different places? And have you ever gone to somewhere that's considered dangerous for gay people to go to?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like pretty much all the Caribbean islands are considered dangerous for gay people.
Like
And the
when
what were
we
you
went
gonna
to
say?
DR, you were surprised to see the little dancing boy, right?
Yeah,
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 that was shocking
yeah.
because because he was very feminine
Hmm.
and he was just out and proud, doing his job, which I thought was cool. I actually felt comfortable in the place where we stayed.
Right,
Probably because we stayed on the resort the whole time.
right.
Um, which was shocking, like because I wasn't sure how we were going to be perceived, walking off the plane, getting in the. Oh no, we didn't take a taxi. That's right. Nikki almost killed
Oh,
us
that's right.
driving.
I was like, "What do you mean we didn't take a taxi?" But that was.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
yeah,
about a different trip. But
right.
yeah, that's when she had
But
us
yeah,
lost.
even going and getting the car from the rental company and all that stuff, like that's where I kind of felt a little nervous. And then once we made it to the resort, I felt pretty comfortable. My last trip that I took uh to Barbados and I went by myself. And even though that's one of my, motherland countries, I had been there before, so I felt comfortable just knowing my way around.
Mm-hmm.
But being there by myself and, like I wasn't gonna take girly clothes or anything like that. Like being there by myself and being a stud,
Mm-hmm.
traveling by myself, I was nervous because I didn't know what to expect. And I noticed like I actually went out one night, St. Lawrence Gap, and I was walking. And if anybody knows Barbados, St. Lawrence Gap is like the popping spots where all the restaurants are and all the bars and all the people hang out. And I was dressed, in I don't know what I was wearing, but I was kind of dressed up because, the clubs and stuff. But I still, definitely looked like a stud, and I had just got a fresh cut and all that. And I was a little nervous because people were looking at me kind of strange, and I didn't know if they were looking at me because I was walking by myself or because I was a stud.
Or because you're just a new
So
face that they.
yeah, just
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So well, sometimes like because I took like public transportation and stuff while I was there. Like I got on the little dollar vans, dollar buses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And most people didn't realize I was American until I opened my mouth because I look,
Because you look
like
like
I
them.
could be from the islands.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I look like the same people around, but um yeah, so that was a little nervous, and like when I started feeling uncomfortable, I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna grab a drink at the hotel bar, and I'm gonna just go back, like, because I don't have time to be, on the news, lost in Barbados, and like when you go to these islands, you're safer when you stay in the tourist areas.
Yeah, but I think that might be true just in general, but even more so when you're LGBTQ,
Yeah,
whatever. But I think that's even more so in general. But yeah, just with my experiences. um, but yeah, I sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was just
no, no, you're good.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say, but honestly, the where I felt the most threatened has been in the U.S. To be honest with you,
Mm,
like traveling south, driving through different states and like the Virginias where, the Georgias where it's not Atlanta, you know what I mean? Where it's not the populated
right, like Georgia.
parts.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Atlanta, you know what I mean? Like the Georgia, like, oh shit, I'm in the South,
yes,
and parts of Virginia where I'm like, oh shit, I'm in the South, like not Northern Virginia where it's DC, the DMV area. Um, I've had people yell things at me and make comments and stuff, and it's crazy.
yeah.
But I know that you usually get it a little bit worse than I do. So
I mean, that's if they realize that if they look hard enough to realize that I am a woman. But like I don't know, it's weird. Like okay, when we went to DR initially, like Nikki and I at one point when we could pre-COVID, pre this current administration, all that's the good stuff. When we were traveling a lot, um, I I felt safe. I felt safe. Like okay, we went to Tijuana for a day. I felt safe there. I felt safe, obviously, in California, and so it's California, right?
mhm.
Um, I don't think there we traveled anywhere within the US that's not already Florida or driving through Georgia to get to Atlanta that I didn't feel safe as LGBT because
Oh wow.
we don't generally go to those kind of places. But like you said, when you want to go to the islands and you're taking those kind of trips, like being in Mexico, I felt like it was more of a general safety because we're Americans. And because I
Mhm.
told Nikki not to wear her shiny shit in Mexico, and she come with diamond rings and earrings and shit, and I'm like, we're in Mexico, okay? Like this is not a good idea, but whatever. Probably, probably the place where I probably should have felt the most unsafe was Jamaica,
Mm.
but that was, I mean, that was a different situation because like DR, like you said, we were safe. We were on the resort, but in Jamaica, when we went to Jamaica, um, we ended up not doing the traditional thing like through the resort. And now that I
Right.
know that Jamaica is so dangerous, period, period. Because I wasn't thinking that. Like the bartender guy was like, "Yo," of course he's doing this in patois. Thank God I'm from Miami, so I can understand what he was saying.
Mhm.
But he was like, I was mentioning some things that we wanted to do, We were a little tipsy. Nikki had walked away. Buddy said he would do it for like 200 US. And I was like, I'm in. So, I arranged this whole day for him, this guy that worked at the hotel, not like
Right.
through the hotel, but just this Jamaican dude who lives who's from the island, to drive us around this island in his own personal car. And if
Yeah.
Nikki will tell you that story, she's very traumatized by this
Yeah.
by the whole situation. And to be honest, I didn't feel unsafe with Buddy like until we got to 9 Mile,
Hmm.
and he started having a conversation with one of the Rastas at 9 Mile, and it was like a conversation kind of in patois where they were talking about like women should be women type of thing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And while I'm standing right there and I'm looking at him like, I understand what you're saying. But then still he
Hmm.
was like, cool. So it was hard to tell whether they're like, they have to be accepting, I'm drinking. They have to be accepting because he's from the resort. So he's probably seen all kinds of us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because we go to Jamaica all the time. But, I don't know, being the personal escort, driving us around the whole fucking island.
Yeah. That could have ended badly.
Yes, in a lot of ways. Okay, and I mean, Buddy doors didn't even match on his vehicle.
Oh God. Yo, I feel like Nikki called me like through FaceTime or something on that trip and was telling me that like she was like, your friend is trying to kill me. And I feel like she told me that story and I'm laughing, but I didn't realize how serious it was.
It was real serious. Like we're
Yeah.
driving in Jamaica and they don't have railings, and we driving up
Uh-huh.
and down mountains, and we're flying up and down these mountains, and me and Buddy are smoking because it's Jamaica, and that's what you can
Right.
do in Jamaica. So we're smoking. I'm smoking with him. They're driving on the wrong side of the road, and he's driving, and I'm smoking with him, and I bought him a red stripe.
Nice.
He looked at me like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, why not? But now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute.
What the fuck was I
For
thinking?
real. I was like, yo, when I go on vacation chill mode, I'll be like, yo, whatever.
Yeah.
Yo, whatever. Like,
That's probably why he was cool with you.
yeah. Because I'm like, yo, right now my life and my wife's life is in your hands. Because
Mm-hmm.
he could take us down the fucking street and get us got. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
he took us through his neighborhood. Let me tell you, that's not a good time. I was like, what? You gotta do what? The hills and the mountains and shit. He had us eating off the side of they do crab on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
And so he pulled up at the crab spot and got crab.
Yeah,
And
but that's kind of dope though. Like you got to really see,
exactly,
you know what I
but at the
mean?
same time, do you
Jamaica.
know how the
Yeah.
danger in
Yeah.
hindsight, I was like, maybe that wasn't my best.
Like I got to do that with somebody that I know from Jamaica.
Right. Right. But I mean, we got, at the same time, I feel like we got lucky because Buddy, he wasn't
Yeah.
disrespectful. Like, he wasn't disrespectful to
Right.
me. He was just having a conversation with somebody who he probably didn't think I understood what they were saying.
Right. And you made it back safely. Thank the Lord.
Yes. And now I understand why the resort was so worried all the time. Her and I would go
Mm-hmm.
missing. Because they were like,
Mm.
people go missing all the time in Jamaica. I found out once we got back. And so they were like always trying to keep track of the guests and make sure nobody was getting kidnapped or some shit. What a trip that was. But that was definitely probably one of the places that I should have been more worried about
Yeah.
where I was, especially being that we left the resort area. Good times, good times.
Stranger danger.
Yeah, for real. Um, uh, you said stranger danger. It reminded me of the time when we were in DC and we had just got there and we were like, it was too late to really do anything, so we were just gonna walk around and try to find something to eat. And
Mm.
So we're walking and we're lost trying to get back to the hotel because DC to us is weird the way they have their
Mm-hmm.
streets and shit. And
It's like
so the,
Hialeah.
yeah, exactly, with letters and triangles. And I'm like, wait, weren't we just on J? How did
Yep,
we get on
it's
J? Like
circles.
what? How the hell did we get here? This was not a good idea. Let's call an Uber. So we're like walking, and this dude walks up to us and just offers his assistance. And we were like, "Are you gonna rob us?" Like,
All things are possible.
yo, for real. I was like, "Are you sure you're trying to get us in the right direction?" Like, I'm not. Can we trust this? I'm not quite sure. But like, that's that's the thing. I think if people just did it, especially if you have somebody to go with, like what you did in Barbados, I don't know. Like that's a little scary to me to be by myself.
Yeah.
But like you said, when we were in DR, it felt very comfortable, and then it felt even more comfortable when we saw the little dancing guy.
Mhm. Yeah, that definitely made me feel comfortable in DR because I didn't know what to expect. That
Right.
was our first time there, you know. So
I know. I never felt like it's so obvious that I'm a lesbian. Like walking in that airport of like Jamaica when we got there, it was
mhm.
later at night, and we had to catch like the hotel, the resort, whatever had somebody come pick you up, but we still had to go through and call them to tell them we were there. I don't know, some situation, but we're at this booth,
Mhm.
and I swear I've seen this airport in the movies. It's like this little, almost like a shack airport compared to like MIA or Orlando
Mhm.
International, something like that. And, you know, New York, especially, like you could probably fit that airport inside of LaGuardia, but
Yeah.
um, so there I am, and I feel like I'm sticking out because it's nothing but taxi drivers, you know, like just taxi drivers and the rental car people, and they're all just staring because there's only her and I in the place. Like only us were
Right.
going to this thing. So that just felt, and then just knowing what you know about Jamaica.
Right.
So it's probably a similar situation to in Barbados, but
Yeah. I know Barbados has been known to be one of the milder islands when it comes to like the gay bashing and stuff like that.
uh,
But just being out there by myself was my concern. You know, like I have, you know, like I said, I've been there before. I have family there, but everybody was working. Like I had to go in the middle of the week, take care of some business. So I just felt like I was sticking out and I was going to all these places that like a tourist wouldn't normally go to, you know.
oh
So I didn't know if, you know, like, you know, the local bank and shit, like if they see people that look so like so much like a stud and then also look like an out of towner. Cause I'm sure, you know, like I was dressed, you know, my shit was matching, but I try not to dress too fly, but
yeah, like do I look
you
like a
know,
mark or what?
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I'm a walking lick right now. That's how I felt.
Exactly.
That's how I felt Nikki was when we were walking in Mexico. I'm like, you got us looking like a walking lick right now. Like, what the fuck? You know,
Yeah, like I didn't have no jewelry on. I tried to wear like, you know, regular stuff, but my regular stuff probably is like still looks kind of like a lick to these people.
yeah. I mean, look at where we're going. Some of these places, like especially seeing the back of it, not even like the resort sections and shit like
Yeah.
that. Like when we got lost in DR and we went past the gas station
Mhm.
that was fucking popping and shit.
Right.
So every time I hear that song, we were at the gas station. I'll be at the gas. Damn, I just sounded somebody's old ass auntie. Anyway, they talking about being at the gas station, but that makes me think of DR. We passed by the gas station. It was
Yes.
popping.
Drop
You made
me
me
off
think
at the
about when we
gas
were in
station.
Cuba. When we were in Cuba, and I was like, I can't come to Cuba and not come back with Cuban cigars.
Oh yeah.
So I had already bought some cigars, and we're walking back. We had did like this tour shit, walked around. Cuba is very LGBT friendly. They do like sex change operations there and shit all the time. I didn't know that until we went
Oh
there.
wow.
So Cuba was like another place that I was like, how am I going to be perceived, But you're an
Mhm.
American coming off a cruise ship. Eh, sometimes they just don't. They don't care. They just want the money, They don't care what you
Right.
look like, what color you are. They will see green, and that's it. But we were walking back by ourselves, and this little short Cuban guy with his pregnant ass girlfriend came walking up to me, he was like, "Yo, I got the stuff." You know what I'm saying? Like he got the cigars and shit. Was
Mhm.
what he was trying to say. And I'm like, "All right, let me see what you got." So I told Nikki. Now we're in the middle of Cuba, right? In the middle of this square, on the way back to the
Uh-huh.
boat, on the way back to the ship. And I told Nikki, she was already tired. She was like ready to. We were ready to take a shower and go eat and all that shit. And
Uh-huh.
so I'm like, yo. So Buddy's walking. He's like, here, I'm gonna take you to this spot. So I'm like, okay. So Buddy's walking, and I turn to Nikki and I'm like, wait right here.
Poor Nikki.
Yo. So she's like, cause she was walking slower. Like I'm trying to keep up the fast of the Cuban guy. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
we take off. Now, mind you, he's got his pregnant ass girlfriend pregnant.
Mhm.
We take off walking down the streets of Cuba. So here I am all by myself,
Oh God.
walking with this dude, walking, I don't know where I'm going. Like I'm just walking with him.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I might have to find my way back. So here I don't know how Cuba's attitudes are about LGBTQ people. So Buddy, I'm
Mhm.
walking with Buddy, I'm walking with Buddy, I'm walking with Buddy. And he's like, stops at this house where their houses go up. Like you open, I mean, you know how Florida is. So I don't know if there's like a New York place like this, but we don't have these type of houses where there's like a gated thing on the first floor, and then the stairs from the outside go straight up into
Mm.
like this kind of covered, kind of not covered area, which is like their house.
Okay.
And Buddy's like, shows me these cigars and shit. But as I'm going up the stairs, you hear the door lock behind you. Boom.
Oh shit.
I was like, oh. I was
It's
like,
over.
yes. I was like, if I die here, Nikki gonna bring me back and kill me again. Okay. Because
Damn.
I done left her ass in the middle of this Havana Square. Like, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Oh man.
She was a little perturbed when I came back. So I go up there and Buddy showed me these cigars, and I'm looking. I'm like, yeah, but the only problem is she got all the cash.
Oh
Because
damn.
I didn't want to bring the cash with me because I didn't know
Yeah.
if he was gonna what was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you gonna try to rob me? Well, I don't even have the money. She do, so we could do this in public if you want to.
Right.
So anyway, I went through all that and still didn't get the cigars. So then I had
Oh
to walk
damn.
back by myself, and that was a fucking adventure because
Yeah.
I mean I didn't
Figure
know
out
where the
where
fuck
you
I was
turn.
exactly.
Good times. All the times that think about, where we've been blessed. All the dumb decisions, not so thought out decisions that we've made over the years
Yes,
in different countries.
it turned out great sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like
Even in Miami.
It's like I think about being a stud, but then I don't think about it at the same time.
Right.
Like my funky Americanness takes over instead. I'm like, bitch, I'm about to
You got
spend some
Cuban
money.
cigars? All right, let's go.
Yes, I know. You about to take me into a seedy part of Cuba that's beyond this imaginary line that it looks like tourists shouldn't go? Okay. Let's go. Shit. It's just like when we were in Jamaica, we were with Buddy, and Buddy was taking us to 9 Mile, but he decided because we had just did Dunn's River Falls, which
Mhm.
they do a tour guide type of thing, and let me tell you, they do that shit for a reason. But we were on like a schedule, so Buddy was like, "I'll help y'all up this thing." Oh man, let me tell you, that's not something you want to do alone for the first time.
Oh Lord.
Yes. So anyway, so we hightailing it. He's like, "Can he get something to eat?" So I'm like, "All right, sure." So he stops at KFC. They KFC different, bro.
Mhm.
It's different than ours, that's for sure. But we're there, and this dude, I don't know if he's homeless or what, but he came over to the car begging for money, and just it's just like I'm there, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna fight this guy in this street of Jamaica? If he, oh man, Nikki's rolling up the window in his face like, I ain't got
I beg your dollar.
yo. Oh man, yeah, good times, good times. But that's like they're scary, but it's really I don't know if there's really um anything to be scared of. Like be alert, know where you're
Right.
going, research. There's some
Right.
places where we're illegal. So if being gay is illegal in a place, I probably wouldn't go there.
Well,
There's a
yeah,
list of
exactly.
places that I just have on my list that I just won't go.
Mm-hmm.
But there's an increasing number of places that I will. And I think that places are just dumb to not want to, I wouldn't say cater to, but for lack of a better word, cater to LGBTQ people because
Yeah.
a lot of us don't have kids. A lot
Yeah.
of us
And
just
we
have
like to
money.
party and
Yeah,
travel and spend money and drink and eat.
exactly. Exactly. What more would does a resort? That's a perfect clientele for a resort. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a reason why these gay cruises are still around and shit.
Yeah.
Even though I have never done a gay cruise, I would like to do a gay cruise. Maybe. Let's find some other place I can go to and make friends with some dude to drive us around town.
Facts. This time to make sure I'm there.
Yo, well, you gotta be there, bro. Yes, I definitely want to do Jamaica again. Do the other side of the island. 'Cause,
Mm-hmm.
I think we did Montego Bay. But I want to go to like Kingston and shit and see how that experience is as an LGBTQ
Yeah.
person. I think that's the,
Definitely
the
need to
side
hit
that
them up.
probably
Keep.
gets more gay people more often because that's like the most
Mm.
famous part. So maybe they're way more accepting over there.
Mm.
But I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Just be alert. I mean, what would you say to?
Yeah, I would say just be alert and try not to travel alone. But if you are traveling alone, like do your research and so and have an agenda.
Yes, and there's tons of like gay traveling websites, black lesbian travel
Mm-hmm.
websites, and uh, what are the people called? I don't want to say realtor, but
Travel
that's not right.
agents.
The what?
Travel agents.
Yeah, travel agents. I don't know why I want to say realtor.
Bruh, put the bottle down.
It's this definitely this Bacardi. Um, yes, travel agents. There's LGBTQ and Black LGBTQ travel agents that specialize in finding just the right vacation for um, us rainbow folk that
Yeah.
need that. Unfortunately, it's something we still need in this day and age. But better be safe than sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I say that now after.
Yeah. Hindsight is 2020.
And we did not go rolling down a mountain. So there's that. Perfectly safe and sound. And Buddy, I'd like to say that Buddy even called me to make sure that we made it to the U.S. safely. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Then I found that call cost me mad money. I was like, oh, hell no. Well, not mad money, but I'm like, we won't be talking again. All right. Well, now let's get into Wild Peas, or the part of the show where we share and answer some of the most wild questions we've seen on the internet. This week's question is, if your ex became a millionaire and asked you to come back, would you?
Nah.
I'm like, which ex we talking about? Nah.
I know, right? I saw that nah was kind of iffy.
Nah. Nah, there's no, I don't see that
To
happening.
come back, I mean, I would I could be grimy and come back for a little while. Get a couple million and then dip again.
Yo. Well, to do it Grammy style would depend on what ex we're talking about. Nah.
Hmm.
But um, in general, nah, I'm good. And see, I would probably wouldn't even find out, like get the call, because if I saw one of my exes call me, I'm going straight to voicemail. I'm just staring at the
Yeah.
phone until it goes to voicemail. So I wouldn't even know.
Yeah, I don't think. Mm, yeah, I don't think any of my exes um would be worth the millions of dollars. I'll do that shit on my own. I'm already on my way. trying to become a millionaire. So
No, I'm not against being a sugar baby, but not worth it to me. That
yeah.
pain and frustration.
Especially not at this point in my life where I feel like I have everything. Like everybody's like, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? I was like, yo, I have everything that I could ever want right now. Like I really don't need anything.
Like it's a crazy feeling when you get to that point where you're like, I don't even know what to ask for. Like
Yeah.
to be real honest, like there's trivial things I could want. Like there's this thing that I want for my truck, or
Right.
I could want something like. But like, do I really need anything? Do I really want anything? I'm like, nah, I don't really. I don't really. So, I had to get creative, even with wifey's gift, because she doesn't really need anything. Like she buys so much shit. Like Amazon probably doesn't even blink when they'll send us anything, because we order everything, so we just get mad shit. But if I was single, like if my situation was different at this time, but of course I would probably answer every question I've ever answered different if my situation was different at this time.
Exactly.
There you go.
It won't be worth it.
A little deep, a little deep with the Bacardi still, you know what I'm saying? And on that note, we're going to end the show here. Don't forget to follow Two Studs in the Pod on Instagram and Twitter, where we promise we will get more active. Catch a glimpse behind the scenes and go follow Meech on IG at the Homie Meech and on Twitter at Homie Meech, and myself at its.me.blaze on IG and it's me blaze 2 on Twitter. If email is more your thing, shoot us an email at twostudsinapod@gmail.com. That's TWO studsinapod@gmail.com. Two Studs in a Pod podcast is now available on our very own website. Find us on www.twostudsinapod.com. After you've caught up on the podcast, get into the latest blogs from Blaze and Meech. Two Studs in a Pod is also available wherever you listen to podcasts. Gratitude is always an attitude, so we want to say thank you for lending us your ear.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Gonna go hunting.
Oh, shit. All right.
Speaking Cherokee now.
Oh, Cherokee.